Welcome to the ultimate website Iceberg. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room. I have a pimple. I have to record today. So just look at it, stare at it, not my fault. Now, the other elephant in the room, me Mario, hasn't this been done before? Actually, no it hasn't. Because if you go on YouTube right now and look up website Iceberg, all you're going to get are the creepiest, the weirdest, the strangest. And yes, there's a lot on here. It is the ultimate website Iceberg. But a lot of these are just interesting, weird, things you've probably have never heard of, some really funny, but then also, yeah, some creepy, some mysterious, some,
Oh, hell.
no, I'm kidding. We'll get to that when we get to there. I'm going to be talking about those kind of websites. We're going to be using this iceberg that I found off Reddit. I'll give credit to the person, I don't know where on the screen, so just look on the screen, you'll see credit. Also, before we get into the meat of the video, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. My videos have been blessed by the YouTube algorithm. I've been getting a lot of attention, a lot of very nice comments, a lot of supportive people, and I just wanted to say thank you. Along with getting more attention, I've also gotten more YouTube statistics, so now I have this ratio. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Y'all need to subscribe because what is this? This is disgusting. That is like one of the worst ones I've ever seen in my life. With that being said, let's begin. Starting off with tier 1, this one is going to go by super fast, as most of these websites, I'm assuming you know already. Starting off, we have YouTube. This is the #1 video streaming platform in which you're watching this on right now, unless it gets uploaded somewhere else, I guess. Google is the world's most used search engine. Reddit is the world's most used forum website. There are different communities in there called subreddits where people talk about various different topics and subject matters. Amazon is the world's biggest shopping website where you can find a bunch of different things for your needs, unless it's illegal or super weird. Wikipedia is the internet's encyclopedia, containing different topics relating to real world things or even things specifically on the internet. Basically has information on almost everything. Twitch is the world's biggest streaming website. Most people do streams on there, live content. Tier 2 is when we start getting to more risque, kind of freaky sites. So I just wanted to give an overall general thing for the rest of this iceberg. I will not be talking about any corn websites. That was a weird wink. What the heck? I will not be talking about any corn websites or anything relating to that. If you don't know what that means, then you're way too young to look at this video. Specifically because one, I don't really support that kind of stuff and I don't want to do my own research going into those websites. And also two, because the deeper we get, the weirder they get, and I don't really want to bring attention to those kind of sites because I think that's just I don't like that. Starting off tier 2, we have iFunny. iFunny is basically a social media site, but specifically for memes, where people can just share different memes. It kind of has the style of Instagram almost, where people will just make posts and then you can comment and like them, of course. People associate iFunny with being super cringe, but honestly, I went on there and there were some things that made me laugh. I'll be honest, so call me cringe. Next, we have Dolly. Dolly is the most used AI image generator, where you can use AI to generate images. There are a bunch of other websites that do this as well, but Dolly is the most advertised and pushed out for these images, and the most ones that you see. If you see an AI image, most of the time it comes from Dolly. GameJolt is a game downloading website, basically the less popular version of Steam. Steam was going to be on this list, but I realized that it is not really a website. It's kind of like its own little application on a computer. Call it what you will, whatever. But GameJolt is the second most popular version of that, where you can download free games, indie games, anything along the like, and a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. That's where all of them are. Pinterest is a social media site where people post boards, which are collections of pictures going towards one kind of aesthetic or theme. So let's say if I had a Pinterest board of gothic aesthetic, I would just have a bunch of pictures of, you know, bats or like those little princess beds, things that are black, whatever, you know what's on. But that kind of social media site has a bunch of pictures of stuff like that. Steamrolling into tier 3, we actually start getting into some interesting stuff. Starting off, we have Corgi Orgy. Corgi Orgy sounds kind of bad, but it's not. It's just a little website where they have a bunch of overlapping. Corgi Orgy. Corgi. Oh my god. Corgi Orgy sounds pretty bad, but it's honestly not. It's just a really cute website that has a bunch of overlapping gifs of corgis doing cute stuff. The longer you stay on it, the more gifs and stuff start popping up. Don't stay on it too long though, because it will give you a headache. It's pretty loud. 4chan is one of the most popular and oldest forum sites on the internet. It's kind of become a safe place for degenerates and incels to come together and post about certain things about their lives. So if you go on there, prepare to see some human slop, because it is not like Reddit where it's very moderated and a lot of people use it. It's very kind of hidden. It is very popular, of course, that's why it's on tier 3, but if you do go on there, be careful because there are some freaks on there. Image Flip is a website that's made for creating memes. Kind of outdated now because people just use Photoshop and stuff, but if you ever need it. The SCP Wiki is an encyclopedia for SCPs. I love SCPs, and I'm going to try to explain this as fast as possible because this can go really deep, but I don't want to spend a bunch of minutes explaining what SCPs are. But basically, SCPs are just anomalous things that are contained in this fictional facility, and the SCP website is supposed to take you in the narrative as someone who has information on all these kind of documents. So when you go on the SCP Wiki, you'll see these different documents and stories that have happened that are formulated in a very government professional way to show you these kind of anomalies that don't actually exist, but it's supposed to be like you're in the universe. That was a kind of not a good explanation. I'd recommend checking it out. It's a really cool read. Creepypasta.com is a website that contains a bunch of different creepypastas, some old, some new, which you can go on there and create and upload yourself. If you don't know what a creepypasta is, then I don't know how, but okay. Basically, a creepypasta is just a really old kind of folktale story kind of thing on the internet. Kind of just think about it as like folktales on the internet where people will tell these creepy stories trying to scare you, and they would get spread around a lot on the old internet, and they kind of still exist now. But most of the time, if someone's going to create a scary story on the internet nowadays, they're just probably going to do an ARG or find another creative way to do it than just writing a blurb of text and then spamming it around. PETA is an organization that focuses on the ethical treatment of animals, and it kind of seems weird for them to be on this list, but the reason it's on this list is because if you go to PETA.org, that site contains a lot of videos of animal abuse, and the reason they have that is just to kind of show awareness on how animals are being treated worldwide or on farms or things along the like. But it's still on this list because it's pretty intense subject that you can just easily find on different websites. Going on to tier 4, this is when things are going to very much slow down, and we're really going to take a break and go through each of these one by one, and as I'll be showing content of these. At this point is when I started seeing a bunch of stuff that I've never seen before, and I would have to do a bunch of research on, so let's just get into it. First off, we have tinytuba.com. This is just a simple website where there's a really small tuba in the middle, and if you click on it, it plays. BloodyDisgusting.com is a website that just has a bunch of different articles and reviews on modern horror media and TV shows and movies, specifically movies, but it's actually pretty cool. Just has a bunch of different reviews and updates on them. MikuTap.com is a website that has a bunch of music playing in the background, and then if you click on the screen, on different sections of the screen, it will play different like Miku sound effects, or press any keys on your keyboard, and then while you're playing it, it auto-tunes it to the music in the background, which can create a really fun song like this. Quiz.test.me is a website where you can take a huge variety of quizzes. It's like the biggest quiz taking website on the internet. They have so much different stuff on there. You can spend probably the rest of your day just taking a bunch of quizzes on there. BuryMeWithMyMoney.com is a website when you click on it, a bunch of little cowboys fall from the sky. And then once they hit the ground, they just say, "Bury me with my money." Apparently this is some reference to an old Konami arcade game, but it has a website, so yeah. Next we have tier 5. Starting off tier 5, we have OMFG Dogs. OMFG Dogs is a very similar to the Corgi Orgy. There you go, I said it right. Except it's much more annoying, and it will destroy your brain if you look at it. I'll just put a screenshot of it on this on the video because I do not want to show a clip of it because it hurt my eyes so badly. So if you have any kind of sensitivity to lights, do not go on this website. Thisman.com. Thisman.com is a very interesting website which is dedicated to, I don't know where I put it, this man. I don't know if you've ever seen him before or if you've ever seen him in your dreams. This website is dedicated to everything about that guy. Basically, if you go on the website, it tells you the story about this guy. all the kind of information on them. It's very interesting if you look at it, because I always thought this was just like a weird meme. Like this was a kind of a test, like have you seen this guy in your dreams, and people were trolling, but apparently was an actual real thing where people were documenting that this person was in their dreams, and this whole website's dedicated to having all of that organized, kind of like a little wiki. I recommend checking it out, it's really cool. Deathclock.org is just a website where you can put in a bunch of your information, and it'll give you an overall statistical average on when you're gonna die. I did this and it said I was going to live to 111, which is kind of crazy. I don't think so. I think it just said that because I'm vegan and I work out, but I still don't think I'm going to live that long. So it's kind of weird. I'd recommend other websites for this, honestly, where you give more information. But this one, I guess, is the most popular one, so it's kind of cool. Trace.mo is a website where you can insert an image from any anime, and it will tell you the exact anime and the episode of it, which is insane. But that's pretty cool, yeah. Maze Game was this super old thing on the internet where it would be this little game where you play as a little square and you're making it through a maze. And at some point during the game, there'd be this really, really tight corner that you try to fit through, but then you can't actually fit through it, and then you would just get jump scared. And it was this old troll game that people would get their family or friends to play that without knowing what it was. They would play it, they'd get jump scared, and they'd scream, and there was this big reaction. Sadly, there's not really a website for this anymore. It is on the Iceberg, so I didn't want to talk about it. But now if you go search a maze game, you're going to have to go on some like weird like old Flash site that just has it. But this was a super old thing where people would be trolling their, elderly family to just get scared.
This maze is so hard.
TheUselessWeb.com is a website that takes you to useless websites. That's the entire website. I was on this for a while, and it's honestly pretty cool. I was getting a lot of Etsy shops that were selling really weird things that I was very interested in buying, to be honest. There was this one that was like, I don't even remember. It sounded like really weird tarot cards that I thought were kind of cute. But this is a very interesting website. I know it's called Useless, but check it out. It takes you to some pretty weird places. StaggeringBeauty.com is a weird kind of meme website where you play as this black wiggling thing, and then if you shake it really hard, it will like blind you. I'll also put a screenshot of it on the screen because it is crazy. Very similar to the OMFG dogs kind of thing, where it just is, I guess, just made to be kind of like really loud and bright and hurt your eyes. This one was getting weird attention at some point on the internet. I don't know why. This is pretty much it to the website. That's pretty much all there is, but there was a weird amount of attention to it, so yeah. Next, we have Tier 6. Again, we're still going by these very fast, but again, later on we're going to get into this video. It is going to be very long because some websites are going to have crazy lore, or there's going to be a bunch more websites in a tier. The first half of this iceberg is very thin, but as you can see near the bottom, it is super thick. So, starting off Tier 6, we have no.com. This is I'm surprised it's this low because I knew about this one. It's just a website that has Darth Vader on it, and if you click the no in the middle, it just goes no. FindTheInvisibleCow.com is this website where there's a blank screen. You gotta hover your mouse, and the cow will start mewing. As you move your cursor, the cow will start mooing much louder and louder and louder, and then you just have to find the invisible cow and click on it. It's actually pretty fun. I was on this for an embarrassing amount of time. TheMushroomKingdom.com is a Mario fan website that has so much information about Mario. It's actually crazy. It contains ROMs, manga. It has a forum board on it as well. It will also contain so many screenshots from almost every single direct involving Mario. It's insane. There is so much about it. There's old Nintendo powers. Pretty much if you have a question about Mario or some kind of mechanic in the games or some kind of Mario game, if you go here, they're going to have so much information on it. What the fuck just happened to my screen? Okay, my computer screen just went black. Oh my god. Okay. It's really cool. Check it out. I was on there for a while too. They have so much information on there. It's crazy. TheGhostInMyMachine.com is a website that contains a lot of different articles on certain different kind of horror subjects. On there, there's certain things about the internet horror, such as things like the backrooms and some other things like that. Also some creepypastas, but the main thing on the website are rituals. Rituals that you can do with your friends or by yourself. Kind of like, if you all remember Charlie really back in the day, where you would take two pencils, piece of paper, and then it would like move the pencil. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was kind of like rituals like that. that are supposed to be kind of scary, that you try it with friends, that are supposed to be really fun. This website has a bunch of different kinds of them. I mean, a bunch. This one's also a really cool read if you wanted to check that out. I don't know if people still do that anymore. Those kind of rituals things, I don't know. Scaryforkids.com is a website that has a bunch of different scary stories that you're supposed to tell children and scare them. This website is obviously super outdated because now kids will just scare themselves by just going on the internet. So yeah. How many people are in space right now.com. This is also one I was surprised is so low because I also knew about this one. It will just tell you how many people are in space right now. It also tells you how many days they have been in space and their names and from what country they're from. It's very cool. And if you're interested right now, there are 10 people in space. And last, finishing off tier 6, we have breadfish.com. Breadfish.com is a website where when you click on it, it will just play a video of a song about breadfish. At this point in the Iceberg, this is when I started finding websites that had no information on it at all. There was one called schizoid.com that I was super interested in, but I could not find anything on. I was searching it up so much trying to find information, but I think it must have been a really old thing because now when you search that up, all you just get are just .gov sites talking about schizophrenia. I couldn't find anything on it. But that's it for this part. No, it wasn't long, and I know we kind of sped through a lot of things, but trust me, part 2 is going to be much more interesting, much more in-depth. There's already a few, if you've already seen them, websites on there that I'm super excited to talk about. This one, though, I just kind of wanted to breeze through, get through all the beginning of the Iceberg, in the next episode, or next video, much more interesting. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day, and subscribe. And also follow my Twitch. I'm going to put that in the bio, too. Follow my Twitch.